You have seen the notes I've sent in the group, eh?
Yeah, nimeona.
Okay. You are able to see my screen now also?
Yeah.
Good. So that is the first chapter of Advanced Management Accounting, and it is called Nature and Purpose of Management Accounting. And we are beginning by saying that management accounting is defined as the sourcing. Is defined as the sourcing. To source means to gather. It is to go and collect data. Then you analyze that information. To analyze the information is to put it in a presentable way. Like now, these notes that I'm giving you, I have sourced them from somewhere or from some places. And then I have analyzed, I've put them in a good way. Then after you put them in a good way, you communicate. Like now, what I'm doing here and now, I am communicating to you. I'm communicating to you so that now this information that I have sourced, I have analyzed, and I'm communicating, you can use it. You can use it to make decisions. So the immediate use for you in this information, for this information, as far as you are concerned, will be in the exam room. The information that I'm going to give you, you will use it in the exam room to decide what to write and what not to write. But now looking at management accounting, after we have sourced the information and analyzed it and communicated, we give this information to our seniors or to the people who make decisions. And this information that we give them is both financial and non-financial. That means we give them quantitative information and qualitative information. Like, for example, we can tell them we have 10 customers. And these customers, they have paid 100,000 or they have paid 20,000. And these customers are good, they are cooperative, or these customers are not cooperative, those kind of things. So you combine the financial and the non-financial. And why this is done is to be able to generate value, to generate and preserve value for the organization. So by you being in this class, you are going to generate value for yourself and also preserve this value. So that is the definition of management accounting, that it is the sourcing, the analysis, the communication and use of decision relevant financial and non-financial information to generate and preserve value for an organization. Now, the other definition closely related to that is that management accounting is the provision of the information, which is required by management for such purposes as formulation of policies, planning, controlling, and decision making. So that is how we look at it, that it is the provision of the information. Now, there are reports that a management accountant should be able to produce. One of them is a budget report. Another one is accounts receivable. Another one is job costs. Another one is inventory reports. Now, for this budget, this will be a topic we shall discuss later. This inventory is also a topic we shall discuss later. Now, this one for the job cost, it will be there in almost every topic. In almost every topic, we shall be seeing how do you prepare a cost statement. For this one, for the aging report, it is not very popular with the management accountants. It is more in financial accounting and reporting. But once in a while, as a management accountant, you can be called upon to write that report. Now, the roles of a management accountant, number one, is called stewardship accounting. Stewardship accounting means you have to work for your boss or your company with utmost dedication and faithfulness. That's what we call servant leadership. You do that job as if it is yours. You give everything that you can. Then you must also be able to participate in planning. Planning has to do with laying down the intended courses of action. So management accountant must be very effective in planning. And then we're also saying they must be able to come up with management information systems. We may not be able to say that we are computer experts or scientists, that we shall develop very complicated systems, but the knowledge that we have, because we have studied a unit called Management Information System or ICT in our course, we can be able to advise on some basic systems that can help the organization to run well. Then once in a while, you can be called upon to participate in management process. You can be called upon in the boardroom and you're asked about your views about something. So that is called participating in management process. Then you are also supposed to assist in controlling of costs. This is actually one of the main jobs, one of the main tasks of a management accountant. You should advise on how to control costs. And then you should help in making decisions. So those are the roles of management accountants. Now, why should we have management accounting? Why should we have management accounting? Number one, they help us, or it helps us. The knowledge of management accounting helps us to reduce costs. Number two, it improves the cash flows. The cash flows become improved. Number three, it enhances business decisions. We are able to make the right decisions. Number four, there is increasing financial returns. We are able to have financial returns. The business is able to generate profits and so on. Now, characters of management accounting. When you look at management accounting, number one, it is a technique of selective nature. That means you don't do everything in management accounting. As a manager, there is a lot that comes to your desk, but you don't respond to everything. You select. So management accounting is selective in nature. Number two, it provides data and not decisions. What that means is that as a manager, you'll be given the information, but it's for you to know what to do with it. It's just like in this class, I have given you the notes and I'm also going to teach you. But what you do with the notes or even what you do with my lecture is upon you. So that's what we are saying. It provides data and not the decisions. Provides data and not the decisions. The other thing is it is concerned with the future. So management accounting is concerned with the future. It talks about how do we go forward, while financial accounting focuses on the past. And then the other thing that you notice is that it analyzes different variables. Management accounting does not confine itself to just one item, but it confines itself to various items. Now, scope of management accounting. Number one, or rather, we are saying scope refers to the areas of knowledge. Scope refers to the areas of knowledge that a management accountant should possess in order to effectively execute their functions. So when we say that you are a management accountant, what is it that you need to possess? What is it that you need to know for you to effectively do your work? And we are saying ideally, you should know everything. A good management accountant should know almost everything that is taking place in the organization. However, because it is not possible to know everything, you find that it's only God who knows everything. You find that there are some areas that you should know as a management accountant. And these areas that you should know are the various the various subjects that you have been taught in your course. Tangu ulianza section 1, umesoma vitu mingi, every subject, and every subject has its own benefits or importances. So just to mention a few, you came across financial accounting in section 1 or wherever. And if you remember, it helped you in very many things. Some of them were how to prepare financial statements and how to understand a financial statement. So if today you are given an income statement or a balance sheet, you understand it, you can implement it. If you are given data. You are given expenses and revenues in an organization. You can prepare an income statement. Yeah. Cost accounting. You were taught about cost accounting, many topics there, and they are beneficial. And one of the things that you can recall from cost accounting is that you are able to understand the various types of costs, how we can manage them, and so on. You also did something called economics, and it also had very many topics. And among the things you were taught include what we call market structures, the monopolies, the oligopoly, all those kind of things. You also taught about pricing. How do we go about setting prices? So those are things that you were taught. The other thing is about statistics. You must have done QA. By the way, did you do quantitative analysis or QT anywhere, Winnie?
Hapana, sikufanya. I did not do it. When I was in, I did part two, then I part one, then I took time. But when I was coming back, they had been taken back to foundation.
Oh, so you were exempted. Okay. Now, yeah, that is also very, very important to me. Very, very important to me as I take you through the course. So the other subjects that you did, you can be able to tell how they helped you. That's what we call the scope of management accounting. Aha, tuko pamoja up that point.
Yeah.
Good. Now let's look at limitations or disadvantages of management accounting. One, it is based on financial and cost records whose accuracy and validity is not guaranteed. So this management accounting, it is based on financial records. And these records, we are not very sure how accurate they are. That becomes a problem. The other thing is that it is highly affected by personal biases. Every leader, every manager, they have their own style of management. If you look at even our country, the way the current president is governing the country is not the way the former president Uhuru was governing the country. Neither is it the same compared with Kibaki, compared with Moi, compared with Kenyatta. Every manager, every leader has their own style of leadership. Even where you work, when we have a new boss, you find that things change because people have different personal approaches to management. Then we have what we call lack of knowledge and understanding of the related subjects. You find that we have said in the scope there that you need to know very many things. But again, the question is how many can you know and how many can you know well? That becomes a major problem. The other thing is it provides only data. So other than providing us data, it is not really helping us in decisions. So we may have the data, but we are still not benefiting. It's just like a student who has the notes, but the notes are not really helping. Yeah. The other thing is preference to intuitive decision making. That means the decisions that we make may not be straightforward, may not be making a lot of sense directly. The other thing is that it may require continuity and participation. People require to participate, and unfortunately, most of the managers do not allow others to participate. Unapata mtu anafanya mambo kivyake, and that is also not very good. The other thing is that it is faced with resistance to change. A manager may bring changes, and those changes are not welcome. The other thing is it is evolutionary in nature. It's an evolutionary state. People may not be able to cope with the changes as they happen. May not be able to cope with the changes as they happen. It is also unquantifiable variables. You find that management accounting will require that we use variables that are not quantifiable. For example, the location, the environment, the political environment, and so on and so on. Those are some of the limitations of management accounting. Now, from there, we look at the code of ethics. And when you look at the code of ethics, we are talking of the behaviors, the expected behaviors of a management accountant. and or the expected way of doing things. We have what we call four codes of ethics. Number one is competence. If you want to practice as a management accountant, you must be competent. Generally, when we talk of being competent, we are talking of having the knowledge that is required. You have gone to school, you have done CPA, so you have the theoretical knowledge. Yeah. And after you have graduated, now there are these things that are required. Is that okay, Winnie?
Yes.
Good. So, after you have graduated and now you're practicing, number one, under competence, we are saying maintain an appropriate level of professional expertise by continually developing knowledge and skills. So you must remain relevant. And that's why we joined ESPAC. Now, ESPAC keeps on organizing seminars. Now, seminars are supposed to make you to know what has happened since you left school. For example, if you look at the world of taxation, there are many things that are changing. Actually, do you work as an accountant?
Yes.
Yeah. Then you know, if you are in the section of salaries, you know that from this month, is it this month or last month? Has there been any change in payroll?
I've not heard of any communication because we've been using 24,000
Eh?
exemption. No, I have not heard of it. No, I don't know. I've not heard of any change.
Mhm.
Because when preparing payroll, I've been using from 24,000.
Okay. What has happened is previously, or rather, there have been previously the housing levy was not exempted, but it's now being exempted. Sidio, I think from 27th of December.
Oh.
Yeah, it's being exempted. So if that is the case, then you find that you have to keep on being updated. Previously, we did not have even the housing levy. We were just deducting the NSSF, the NHIF, and the payee. But siku hizi tuko na SHI, tuko na SHA, tuko na housing levy. Those are changes that take place, and you need to be informed. The other thing is you must perform professional duties in accordance with the relevant regulations, standards, and laws. What that means is that as you do your work, you must be guided. We are going to be logged out. So when you get logged out, you log in immediately using the same credentials. I was saying when you're working, you need to work according to the regulations, the standards, and the laws of the land or the standards of the company and ISPAC. And then you must provide decision support information and recommendations that are accurate, clear, and timely. That means you must keep on advising your boss on the appropriate way, on the appropriate action. You must provide that. The other thing is that in case there is any professional limitation in that can make you not to be able to perform your duty, you need to disclose it in advance. Let people know that you are not qualified in this or you have this limitation that can impact on what you can deliver to their expectations. So those are the four things